This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and welcome to today's edition of the Pit Stop, where you, the pit crew, you are the real star of today's show. Thank you for being here. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day to everybody out there. Mike, guess what day it is? I didn't use much imagination. I'm just wearing my hump day commercial t-shirt for today. But the commercial and the shirt make me laugh. And hump day's an interesting day because we are working for the weekend now. And I think everybody gets excited about that. And anyway, thank you for being here. Like I said, it's always a pleasure to be here talking sim racing with you guys. What's going on in your world? Me, it's butt cold, I tell you. You know, and many of you, I probably won't get much sympathy from a lot of you out there, but it was like 31 degrees this morning when I woke up. It was actually below freezing here in Southern California, which is almost unheard of. So I am freezing my ass off. Let's just put it that way. Beyond that, I am working on computers from some generosity, and I'm going to I apologize because my credits at the end of the show are still dated. We need to update to the February credits, which is going to include a few very generous donors who have helped me step up. So we are currently upgrading video cards on the systems and hoping that the next time we stream live racing footage that the quality is just that much better. We're always trying to get better. We might even try to push 1440. Who knows? We'll see what happens there. But we are stepping it all up. So I just want to thank some people behind the scenes, and it'll be reflected in the credits coming up on the very next show. Won't be on here today. So what is going on in the world of sim racing? What do we have to talk about? We have pugs to talk about. We got the pug right there on the hood. No, I'm not here to talk dogs, even though Max is sitting right here by my side, sleeping on his little bed. But we do have the February update for Forza 7. It is now out and introduces numerous improvements to the Forza 7 paint space, including Forza Vista mode and 4 new lighting options. They have a full release notes. I'm not going to go into great detail. If you want to know, if you're a Forza head and you got to know, you can go play, or you can go here through their Twitter feed to the full release notes. I mean, and it is a long list. I mean, so this is a good amount of changes and updates to Forza Motorsport 7. Again, that's to Motorsport 7, not to Horizon 4, just to be perfectly clear. In addition to that, they have their February 2019 update, the more clinical version, I guess, the cleaner version that you'll find at the website, including the Spotlight car, the Ferrari 2017 Ferrari GTC4 Lusso. What are your guys' thoughts on these kind of hatchback type Ferraris? Is that proper? Is that an unnecessary model by Ferrari? I know this isn't really sim racing related, other than the car is apparently in Forza Motorsport 7, but I think of like the BMW that did the little M Roadster hatchback, and it was like a really cool car. This is kind of like that, but now you're talking Ferrari money. Is that a shape? I mean, I was at a car show and a guy had a tan Ferrari. And I thought, how freaking rich do you have to be to have a tan Ferrari? And here's my logic on that. If you were going to buy your first Ferrari, I hope it's red. Anyway, my point is, how many Ferraris do you have to own by the time that you're willing to settle on a tan Ferrari? My other question to you is, if you're going to buy an exotic car, marquee, is a little hatchback type thing. It's not little. Is a hatchback type design the way it should be? It's your daily driver Ferrari. Will the mechanics see it that way? I don't know. Anyway, I think it is a beautiful car shape and design. It is accommodating a back seat, so it's more than just a hatchback. I mean, this is a 4-seat Ferrari, but you could then make the argument, is that why you buy a Ferrari? I mean, and then how rich do you need to be the guy who buys a 4-door Ferrari? Because, my personal Ferrari wasn't good enough. Now I need to be able to put the kids in the back in my Ferrari. And it's like, isn't that what... Anyway, I don't know. I'm off topic. Force feedback update. That's been a big topic in Forza Motorsport 7 with some of our pit crew guys. We talk about this behind the scenes often as we debate and talk about the force feedback and the quality of driving experience from Forza Motorsport in general. So we'll have to see if that update, and I'll get word from our guys. I doubt I'll get a chance to get out there and do it. I play Forza from time to time, but I haven't played it recently enough to like really definitively feel the difference. But hopefully somebody else out there will get back to me and let me know. So anyway, what else? Codies, a few things from the dirt rally world to talk about. Number one, they have their trophy list. So trophy hunting is one of those single player modes. When we talk about single player mode, being entertained and having a lifespan or longevity to a title, for many people who don't compete in certain titles that maybe aren't made for competing, it comes down to trophy lists. These are the kind of things that the grind, so to speak. But we do have our first list here, and this is at truetrophies.com, but I found it through Codemaster's Twitter page. And this is the trophy list of all of the things you can do. So we've got some silver, bronze. I'm assuming we have some gold. Yeah, there's a gold one. Complete 10 time trial events, and you get a gold achievement. So no money, no buy. That's a new one, Jesse. So anyway, just a list there. So those who are looking forward to Dirt Rally 2 and can't get enough, you'll find that via there. Also, coming from the Codies blog, John Armstrong, we've seen videos from him, part of the Codies team. Apparently, he's going to compete in a Dirt Rally 2.0 Ford Fiesta R5 at Galway International Rally. This is the Irish Tarmac Rally Championship, and he apparently is going to be there in real life in a Dirt Rally 2.0 sponsored car. So good for him, and that could be good and great exposure for sim racing out there in the real rally world, which is kind of cool. There you go. Now you know. What else? Lunar Sale. I'll mention a couple of them, the ones that I saw on various Twitter feeds and things, so you can know. But right now is the Steam Lunar Sale, and this is one of the big sales of the year at Steam. It extends way beyond sim racing titles. It may not cover every title that you're looking to get, but I mean, for example, F1 2018 is up to 70% off. I'm not sure how it would be up to. I'm not sure there are different variations. Lionheart Racing Series in the house. How you doing? What else? R Factor also on sale, so it looks like it's 50% off of R Factor at the Lunar Sale going on at Steam as well. And like I said, beyond that. Now, one company we've heard very, very little about in recent time, but many of us are eagerly anticipating, I think that's a fair statement to make, is Simbin. Remember Simbin? Well, last time we saw was their little Merry Christmas, their second birthday post. Well, now things are getting a little more real, aren't they? This is the new Simbin headquarters, Simbin Studios, they're calling it. And you can see a lot of workstations ready to go. Nice looking work environment. I don't know if any of you took me up on the offer when I was telling you about Simbin hiring. I'm assuming they probably still are. But it is getting real. Like I said, that is the most real life for GTR3 that we can possibly see yet. You know what make this picture even cooler, though? What's this picture missing? Employees! Where are all the people working? I want to see the worker bees humming away, making sure GT3 is on the way. Speaking of on the way, Reiza Studios, there were some setbacks on what was going to be the Reiza R Factor 2 bundle, and apparently it is back on their release schedule. So there is a write-up at their Facebook page that includes some cool photos. So following a delay in development, they are pleased to confirm Reiza R Factor 2 bundle is finally back on their release schedule. The delay has not been for naught, as the extra time has allowed us to further develop the contents of the bundle and includes several of R Factor 2's very latest developments. Some of the updates made to R Factor 2 being incorporated into the work that Reiza Studios is doing. In the meantime, check out some previews, 4 cars and 2 tracks previously confirmed, featuring all the latest R Factor 2 graphical enhancements. So here's some of the stuff coming to us from Reiza for R Factor 2. Historically, if you go back in time to the R Factor 1 package, and one of the things about R Factor 1, looks like there are 7 more photos. I missed some. Excuse me. One of the things about R Factor 1 is there was a lot of great content made, and there was some mediocre content made, and there was some crappy content made. And quality control in the modding world is always a little up in the air. And when you don't have something like an R Factor Central allowing people to really rate it, it's really hard to definitively get the word if a mod is worth cluttering your system or corrupting your game or anything else that could happen. But Reiza Studios was really known as the company that took the R Factor 1 engine, created some of the best content ever for it. And so as they get involved in R Factor 2, and they start to put out their own packs and DLCs and add-ons and all those kind of things for the sim, it could be a game changer for R Factor 2 as well, because these guys really are good at what they do, and they've created some of the best R Factor 1 based content ever made. So I'm very optimistic for the future right there, let alone other things going on from Studio 397 and R Factor 2 in general. So very, very good stuff there. What else to talk about? Other studios, headquarters, earmuffs. Are we going to do that every time? Tell me when that gets old. When I have beat that horse too badly and it's dead, please tell me and I will stop the earmuff bit. But NASCAR Heat 3, I guess. We've got a special guest headed to our new office space today. Anyway, apparently they are new headquarters for 704 Games, NASCAR Heat as well. We've talked about, and they are definitely on the move in the world of eSport and maybe even sim racing popularity. Maybe not with the super duper duper hardcore group, but certainly on the general playing field for sim racing or automotive motorsport gaming titles. I think you could say it's safe to say that they're on the move. So we'll stay on top of NASCAR Heat. We'll put our earmuffs on for those who can't handle. You can't handle the truth. NASCAR Heat, it's big. It's big. Anyway, secretly and very quietly, and this was at GT Planet, but apparently Gran Turismo Sport update coming February 6th, so that is today. And if you blink and you'll miss it, news blast. Polyphony Digital has confirmed new Gran Turismo Sport update is coming later this week. That being posted yesterday, about today being later in the week. Anyway, so they did do an update. They didn't talk much about it, and even GT Sport had very, very little to talk about it on it, but GT Sport is getting an update, which is not as common as what they've been doing with Forza. If you compare update to update, I think Forza is definitely supporting more than Gran Turismo GT Sport is. The name of the sim, the West Brothers. Oh, what was that going to be called? Oh, come on. Why can't I remember it right now? My brain's a little mush. West Brothers, the greatest piece of vaporware ever created. We could do a whole show on that. No, we can't. We don't really have enough to go with. But anybody who's been around for a long time certainly remembers the West Brothers and the sim that at the time when West Brothers, so 10, 15 years ago, and I'm waiting for somebody to come up with the name. I just can't remember it right now. Back in almost like the GP Legends days of sim racing. So this is going back to 1908. Racing Legends. Thank you, Neil. Racing Legends. This goes back to 98 to 2002 era of sim racing when we were just on the brink of things getting great. And things have definitely gotten good and evolved from just like gaming into simming. That was for sure. And then the West Brothers came out with like early age internet. This is like when the internet was a baby. Some really clever marketing, and had there been a crowdfunding page available at the time, I'm sure we would have seen the days of light of Racing Legends by West Brothers. But in the end, what was going to be a extremely shooting brake is what style of car was, Sean? I'm not sure. I missed something there. But it was going to be more expensive at the time than even what iRacing is today. And most of the hardcore sim racers back in the day, like, didn't care. it didn't matter. We were willing to pay whatever it was going to cost to take sim racing to the next level. And Racing Legends, if that's the name, by West Brothers was absolutely one of those things. And it was an interesting time in sim racing. And if you could go back in time and relive those days, it's hard for me to express the magnitude of what it seemed like it was going to be, because it was making the games we played so primitive. Like, Ian Bell made some comments about Project Cars 3 that, the Ferrari hatch. Ian Bell made some comments about Project Cars 3 about how it would, I don't remember his exact wording, but something along the lines of how it would embarrass other sims. You know, they'd all wish they were never born, something along those lines. I don't remember the wording, but West Racing. Oh, there we go. Is that link still active? I'm going to click it. It is. Oh my God. Here it is, you guys. I'm pulling it up. Thank you very much, Lino. This was such an interesting time in sim racing. And here it is, key features. Anyway, it was really ramping up to be the sim of all sims at the time, and it was going to be outrageously expensive, like $1,000 or something along those lines. And again, most of the hardcore sim racing. Now, this is also coming off of the days of Hawaii, where online racing might have cost you thousands of dollars a month anyway in long distance phone line charges and things. So it was for all you youngins, all you people somewhat new to sim racing. You know, imagine a time where sim racing wasn't what it is today. Where, I mean, right now we're so lucky. We have so many sims to choose from that we can nitpick the ones that are inadequate. Versus back in the day, like we joke about the no VR, no buy. Back in the day, you bought any and every sim because they were so few and far between that you had to. If you were a automotive, motorsport, gaming person, you had to buy all of them. That's just the way it was. And now we can be a little more picky and choosy because we have a lot of variety if you really think about it. So, all right, back on topic. So, NASCAR Heat, they have new studios. There you go. Gran Turismo Sport getting an update today. Fanatec, remember I told you, I haven't been told about my free podium, which means nobody has submitted a resume and suggested that I referred them. Please, if you want a job at Fanatec, and you should go check it out. So, here it is, Fanatec Jobs, more jobs there. They're looking for electric and mechanical engineers, product managers, technical documentation specialists, PR manager. That's a little bit, they just listed off a pretty wide job spectrum that I'm assuming someone go get a job from Fanatec and get me a free podium for the referral. In addition to that, there's another post here by Fanatec that just came out today, I do believe. This might have been yesterday. Talking about steering wheel compatibility, and it's not the kind of compatibility that you're expecting it to be when you see that title, because you think, oh, compatibility with games, nope. They're talking about literally the hardware compatibility. So they're basically in this article talking about the podium, the wheels that will and will not be supported in terms of by them, what you can and cannot do with their universal hub, and talking about how, hey, you know what, they really are not endorsing the whole chip to use their wheel on a different base, and they're not really encouraging you to do anything to their unit when adding your own wheel to their base, any adapters you might do, and they're basically saying, there's a reason why. Anyway, whatever, we're going to do what we want to do. Fanatec can make that claim all day long. What's a warranty good for? I mean, what's the timeline on my warranty? Certainly the day the warranty is out, I certainly don't care about doing anything wrong, but you got to do what you got to do and what's best for you. And I don't know, they're a little naive to think that people aren't going to mod and change and do their own thing and buy adapters and all those things like that. So I have a Fanatec Podium wheel on reserve, I guess is the word to put it. So there will be one shipped to me, and it will be reviewed on the show. So there you go. Today was an interesting day when I woke up. There was a few more articles than normal about esport overlapping into real life, taking over esport in general. So our esport getting bigger, and we're having an impact. And so when esport really took off, you can make the argument esport took off a decade ago. The explosion of esport and guys making $1 million contracts, maybe that's a little more new, maybe 5 years, 6 years. And, sim racing getting its day in esport is really just a year-old phenom at this point in time. But there was a flurry of articles. So the other day we already talked about Ben Payne, the director of Project Shadow for McLaren, his whole take on things. But here's another article at Game Industry Biz talking about McLaren's drive to turn gamers into Formula One racers. They talk about Rudy Van Buren and what he's been able to accomplish in real cars. And it's like you can see the wheels turning in the heads of especially Ben Payne as they're working with this whole esport thing that's going on. And I don't think that McLaren is one of the companies we talked the other day about. I'm breaking up? What do you mean I'm breaking up? I'm breaking up. What do you mean? Oh, it was you. Okay, sorry. You scared the heck out of me. Anyway, getting back to my thought, Mitch, you totally ruined my total train of thought right there. But you can see the wheels turning, and Ben Payne, Project Shadow, they're not looking at it as just esport like you would Call of Duty or anything else. Sim racing is unique, and so this is the direction that things are going. Here's another one. ESPN had an article out just today. So again, there was this weird, is everyone copying each other? I don't know, but only a matter of time before Formula One and esports converge, and you could actually make the argument they already have. We could do a whole show on that. Sim racing gets real. iRacing Gamer wins a test in a pro race car. Continuation of the Glenn McGee type story and things like that, going from sim race to real life opportunity. It's happening left. It's happening right. Podium Esport and Porsche Club of America present PCA Sim Racing series. This is a whole other sim racing series going and coinciding with real life branding and all of that kind of stuff. Well, I thought I had one more in that whole topic. I thought I had one more example. There was another very similar article that came up on my news feed on my phone talking about Igor Fraga, and they had his picture and saying it was only 10 years until an esport driver, here it is, esports could reach F1 within 10 years. This is what's happening in our version of esports. So when you hear me talk about it, maybe you guys start to roll your eyes and think, yeah, whatever, I'm here to race, I'm here to compete, whatever. But this is what is leading the way in our industry right now. So when we think about great games, great hardware, great opportunities, the version of esport that we have with sim racing is completely unique to what has been going on for that decade since esports, so to speak, began. And don't quote me on that decade old. I don't know the exact date that esport began, but we are seeing a very interesting, it's not just an explosion, but it's a conversion. Again, you could be an F1 star within 10 years. Now, maybe not you. If you're sitting here watching the show, maybe we're already too late. But just think, if you've got a 12-year-old kid who's been getting into sim racing, there is a line at this point, and maybe it's a 1 in a million shot still, but there is a line. By the time that they get to the age, they could go from sim racing to even F1. William Byron at Hendrick Motorsports iRacing, great example, RF Night Stalker. These things are happening, and because they're happening, look at the rate of increase that they're happening with. So anyway, that's really cool for all of us. Verstappen, this is at Grand Prix 24/7, Independent Formula One News. They have an article here talking about Verstappen on the simulator. The car feels very positive. This is using the actual real deal simulator. So this is the Red Bull simulator. Verstappen, no surprise, but he's been putting a lot of time in on the virtual Red Bull RB15, and it's left him confident that he will have himself a decent car next year as the team begins their new era in Formula One as a Honda Works team. So anyway, cool shot of him in the Real Deal simulator for Red Bull. What did Brandon say? Anyway, all right, we're going to move along. You guys have your private jokes behind the scenes. Project Cars, they've got the ACR Triple Threat League. It's back on, and this was just posted today. So signups are open for the spring 2019 season in the Actual Vision Community Racing Triple Threat League on all platforms. So that's cool. All platforms. Project Cars, too. If you're looking for somewhere to race, you're looking for some fun, it's the beginning of the season. Beginning of the racing season, too. So, maybe right now you're kind of like in a lull of some sort, but on TV, you're going to start seeing racing every weekend, and you're going to be bummed if you didn't get involved in the seasons at the beginning. So get out there. If you're into Project Cars 2, that's your discipline, that's where you like to race, go over there to Actual Vision Community Racing and get in all platforms. Platforms. Very cool. All right. Just a couple more things, then we're going to get off the air for the day and get back to the studio and working on so many cool other things. Really moving along. Things are slowly but picking up. I feel it more behind the scenes than you're seeing the results, but things are picking up here at the Sim Pit, and you're going to see a lot of really cool content coming out very, very soon. So other things going on, I like to show you funny or cool rigs that are out there, especially when they're sent to me, usually by Thawman. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. 9 out of 10 times you see a rig posted from Reddit. I got it from Thawman, so everybody should give him a big thank you because he is always helping me bring the best news to the show. But the whole point here, and hopefully you read the title and got to the joke before I did, the ultimate $5 upgrade for a sim racer. Gotta keep them boys happy. Do you know what he's talking about? Do you see? I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to leave it right there, and you all figure it out. We're all adults. Do you relate? Do you understand? This is not a physics-driven model. I'm assuming this is just an on and off switch. Anyway, we're just going to leave it right there. What else do we have? Okay, this is cool. Sim racer spouses can have fun too. And I am begging you guys, any of you out there that have fart spreader, there you go, Theodore. Any of you out there who have a, it could be a spouse, it could be a girlfriend, it could be a sister, cousin, daughter. If you have a female driver and you can get them in your rig driving, I'd love to see it. We'd all love to see it. Way back when, years and years ago, we did a powder puff. Can you even call it a powder puff anymore? Is that like, no. Anyway, let's play the video so we can see. Sim racer spouses can have fun too. Playing in VR with the Vive, you see that? I see an AccuForce steering wheel. I see Fanatec inverted pedals, nice looking rig. Hard to tell what rig that is. Almost looks like that RC copycat company, but I don't think so. It looked like square tubing. But years ago, we did have a women's only race. I talked to Chris Phillips about maybe someday creating a girls sim racing team, female sim racing team. Love to see more women involved in what we do. It'd make it more fun, don't you think? That's right. Andrea Lopez won the females race. Playseat challenge. This is a rickety rig, but if you are in a situation you have to, I'm not a playseat guy, that's for sure, but if you need a rig that you can throw in the closet because you just don't have the space, you're in a dorm room, you're in a small apartment, your wife or girlfriend will not accept a rig, this is the answer. The Playseat Challenge is. Anyway, this is a full Fanatec gear, but the reason I pointed out, somebody the other day sent me an email and asked if you could put a shifter on a Playseat Challenge, and I thought, ooh, not so much, and I don't think it would be that easy to adapt one. I thought maybe something you could do like between the wheel and the wheel deck, like a plate that you sandwich in there that extends off and allows you to mount the shifter perhaps. Anyway, you can see somebody actually figured out how to get a clamp and some kind of a bracket and a mount onto the Playseat Challenge with the Fanatec H-pattern shifter. So pretty slick there on that. What else? What else do we have? Smooth tried to get this to me at the last show, and I missed it. He sent it over. I haven't read through it. You'll find this at iRacing, but this might be a post. This is actually in their forum, I'm guessing. So it's like, we always talk about iRacing, and it's like, if you want information about what's going on at iRacing, you almost need to be within the walls of iRacing to get that news. It's like the fortress, and if you're not inside the walls, you get no news. Anyway, this was posted at Reddit, and this is talking about an iRacing staff's informal Q&A on AI, which is coming to iRacing. When? Who knows? It's been in the works. It's been in the talks for forever. But anyway, some information here on what that will and won't do soon, but not ready to formally announce its release. So you'll find that at Reddit. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but if you want to be able to read it and you're not an iRacer, you can find it at Reddit, just under the iRacing thread at iRace there. But it's basically titled iRacing Staff Informal Q&A on AI in iRacing. And if you're an iRacer, you'll find that inside of the forum, is, I believe, where that actually stemmed from. Sean does coding. Yeah. I'm a super coder. I'm a hacker extraordinaire. And that's Racing Legends by West Racing, which we already talked about. So that really does take us to the end of the show. The only thing I have to talk about left is... Tonight we are going to have the Simpit Ricmotech Endurance Team practice for the 12 hours of Sebring. I'm up in the air if I'm going to stream it. It's going to be at 6 o'clock, so I'm announcing it so you can all know how hard the team is working. You can hear the name Ricmotech because they are helping the team be strong. And also, as a warning to all the guys as part of the team or the guys who want to come out and drive with us, we will be on track tonight at 6 o'clock. We will want guys in the other car classes even. So even if you're not part of our team, but you're part of our crew, come on out and help the team prepare for the 12 hours of Sebring. That is at tonight. And that race is coming up in a couple of weeks. So we need to start getting serious. We've been doing work behind the scenes, but now it's time to kick things up just a notch and get more ready. So, anyway, that is going to do it for today's show. Lots of cool things going on in sim racing. I hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to thumbs up. Be sure to share. Let your friends know what we're doing here at the Sim Pit. I think we have a great diversity of content between sim racing news, driving videos, and quality reviews. I think it's a really good balance. I think we finally hit our stride here at the Sim Pit. And with that, we can start cranking things out at a better rate and keep it even more entertaining, educational, and fun to be a part of. Anyway, thanks for being here. Thank you for being here every day. This is the Sim Pit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.